Welcome. Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the AEW Dynamite Recap here on Beyond the Curtain Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, of course, WF Cody. Back at it again with my main man, the man, the myth, the legend, the host of the Takin the Bump Podcast. Yours truly, Jimmy Jam, James Beatley. Sir, how in the hell are you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. It was a pretty decent anniversary episode of AEW Dynamite, even though their anniversary was like 2 weeks ago. But whatever they go, Budweiser. Two different beers. Budweiser in my hand, and let's talk some wrestling.
You already drunk and you hadn't even drinking the full beer, sir. Speaking of drunk, does anybody know what this whole thing might be? Do you have any idea? This is a Jello shot. Why am I introducing you to Jello shots on this channel? Well, for two reasons. So as of this recording, of course, this is recorded the day or the night of Dynamite. So literally just as Dynamite goes off the air, we record and then we post it the next day on our YouTube channel. So this is being recorded right now, October the 14th at a little over 10 o'clock Eastern time. No, I'm not drinking because I'm joining the Dark Order. So I'm drinking for two reasons. Number one is because we're 1 year into Dynamite. Congratulations. Actually, okay, three reasons. So you got to take a shot for Dynamite on the 1 year anniversary. Congratulations to AEW. And then for two more reasons. One, as of tonight, October the 14th, 2020, our favorite baseball team, the Atlanta Braves, are getting their royal asses kicked by the nobody gives a crap about them Dodgers. So to ease the pain of the horrible loss, you got to take a little bit of the sippy of the jelly. And then for thirdly, because of just how fucking I promise you this is not going to go well, of how terrible this freaking women's division is in AEW. I see that we have gotten absolutely nowhere in the weeks, in the months that I have been proclaiming about this damn division. So every single time I mention the women's division or he mentions the women's division of how terrible it's been, I got to take one of these. And I've only got 6 of these. So I took like 12. I ate how many of these like a couple nights ago? I think it was between 10 and 15. I got pretty messed up. Hopefully that doesn't do anything. I got some gummy bears too because I thought it would be a very nice touch to it. So here's to you, BTC Nation. Let's take one of these and hopefully this actually goes well. It's not going well. Yeah. I should have gotten a spoon, you know? Oh, here we go. Yep. Yeah, that's strong. I don't remember it being this strong from a couple nights ago. I really don't. Maybe we're going better. We'll soak it up. I know for some of y'all that are just listening to this instead of watching this, you have no idea what's going on. I just took a Jello shot. I should have done that for the 1,000 follower special. Anyways, I'm not gonna. I'm already getting tipsy. I'm gonna try to not get more drunk. I think I ingested some of that vodka because it's in my nose. AEW Dynamite, let's do it. We kicked off the show with the tag team championship match between Best Friends and FTR. Great opening segment. Took about 20 minutes. It was a very good segment, very good match. FTR wins, retains the titles. Then Kip Sabian, Miro, and Penelope Ford appear. I think they beat up Best Friends, and then they have a match against Sean Maluda, I think, and Lee Johnson. Basically, the squash team on Dark. Miro, Kip Sabian won. I don't think Kip Sabian made an appearance in this match at all. Then they both got on the mic. Miro talked in Bulgarian. I have no idea what he said. Didn't sound very good. And then Kip basically finished off for us. So, and then we get to backstage. Lance Archer, John Moxley, they appear. They start beating the crap out of each other, preluding to what will happen in the event of the night to come. Penelope Ford, I feel bad for you because you're just basically being the sex appeal for Kip Sabian and Miro, and you have so much more talent than that. And I'm sorry that you're not on the women's division more often because we don't know how to treat women in the AEW company. Did I just mention the women's division again? I did. So we got to go with number 2 now. This one's a lot more than the first one. This is red, by the way. These are cherry and blue. That's the. I have no idea what flavor that is. Oh, take it away because it's already going. Yeah. Oh my God, how much vodka's in this? Go ahead. What's your thought on these segments?
Wait, well, you're having fun over there tonight. I thought the beginning of this show was fantastic. Tag team wrestling. You gonna make it, sir?
No.
But yeah, FTR and Best Friends. I think they're 2 of the best tag teams right now, and not only the world but AEW specifically. And it was a great show. I think FTR has just this it factor about them. They are a natural heel team. Yeah, I just love everything about them. And then Best Friends, they're just, who doesn't like the Best Friends? I'm pretty sure if I caught it correctly that Chucky Taylor was wearing Heart Foundation inspired like apparel tonight. Tell me if I'm wrong, but that's what it reminded me of. But yeah, it was a very good match. And then FTR obviously retains. And then Miro kicks the ever-loving hell out of Sean Maluda and Lee Johnson. I mean, you can call this a tag team match, but I'm pretty sure Kip Sabian saw 0 minutes of action in ring as a legal man. And Miro picks up an easy win in what I would call a 1-on-2 handicap match. And then Miro gets upset that Trent broke his device. I don't know what that was. Well, they're calling him out. I guess Miro wants to fight Trent. I don't quite. I think that might be something I missed not watching Being the Elite or Dark or something. I don't know. I missed something because I didn't quite get that. But yeah, the tag team scene is fantastic, and sir, you might want to grab another one because Penelope Ford is beautiful, but what's not beautiful is the fact that she's not wrestling every fucking week. So yeah, we need her wrestling, not just sitting there. Even though she's beautiful, and I mean, I don't hate that she's on the screen. I would just like to see her fighting. And he's getting messed up tonight, so don't worry, he's off tomorrow, so he'll pay the consequences tomorrow. Yeah, it was great. It was a pretty good show. Beginning couple matches there. Moxley and Archer kind of set up their feud. They have a couple different little segments in this show. We'll talk more about the Moxley match at the end of the show, but I have some thoughts on that as well. Yeah, to begin the show, I think it was very well. And how you doing over there, bud?
I'm only got 3 left. This ain't gonna be good. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Let's go ahead and move on before I get tipsy on the show. MJF comes out with his big, huge announcement. Out comes Wardlow with him. Jericho When the rest of the inner circle come out, Maxwell jumps around it, finally gets to it, asks to join the inner circle. Ortiz takes the mic and says, "Bro, you can stop pulling on Jericho's chain. We don't want you in the inner circle." No. And Jericho's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 hold the phone. Maybe you do want to join the inner circle." And they went back and forth for a second, and then Jericho challenges MJF in a very, very aggressive style to a steak dinner one-on-one next week. I don't remember what the hell they called it, but they're calling it something late, something bote. I don't know. Basically, they're going to have a steak dinner over whether or not MJF will join the inner circle. Should be entertaining. I'm looking forward to it. All you wrestling people out there that think it won't be entertaining and that it's ridiculous, it's stupid, and comedy doesn't deserve a place in wrestling, can politely jack each other off while you watch Jim Crockett Promotions wrestling. Y'all create a circle jerk of each other and go watch 1980s wrestling, 70s and 80s wrestling, because we're not there. We're in 2020, so that's like 40 years ago. I understand that you have a philosophy of wrestling and what you think it should be and what you think it might be. Name me a company that has excelled in that kind of style of wrestling and has been super ultra successful since 2000. Can't name me one. Can't name me one. Yeah, I didn't think so. So get back yourself politely and find a different flavor you like. FTR brings that traditional type of wrestling thing to it, and that's a great way to look at it. If that's a traditionalist type of wrestling and you like it, enjoy it. If you don't like the other stuff, like it for at least that. Find a positive. You ain't got to crap all over. I don't understand why people have to. I don't understand people that wake up, piss negativity, eat negativity, crap negativity, drink negativity, go to work with negativity, come home with negativity, have a wife, kids, or husband or whatever. Negativity. I don't get it. Find a positive in something, for Jesus' sake. I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic, y'all, and we're going to just piss all over something that we don't enjoy. And don't criticize fans that do enjoy something that's different, because flavor in wrestling is like your spice rack at home. There's so many of them. How many times have I been having to go back over this, that there's so many different flavors in wrestling. Pick one you like, stick with it, go with it. So for you traditionalists out there, you can block me on Twitter and Facebook. Won't bother me. Anyway, so there's that. And then we get to Britt Baker and Reba. They're naked. They're not naked, but they're in is it a dentist's office? Is it a spa place? With Tony Schiavone, who's conducting the interview. Tony Schiavone is naked, apparently, getting a mani-pedi with Britt Baker, talking about her comeback, and that she'll be wrestling next week on Dynamite. Fantastic. I'm so glad that Britt Baker will be wrestling on Dynamite next week. It'll help the women's division, but it's only going to be one match. So, sorry, Britt. I like you. You're on one of my fantasy teams. You're only going to be in one match. There's only going to be 2 segments total of a women's thing, and that's going to be a promo or a vignette and then a match. Sadly, that's just the way it's going to be, and it's unfortunate because women's division should be so much better than that. I just don't quite understand why the women's division is just an overseas thought. I retweeted something on Twitter today that said, here's to the women's division being a more prominent role in AEW in the second year. I agree. I think that it should be, and yeah. And then the TNT Championship match. Hold up, I gotta take this. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep, that's strong. For all of you that hate ASMR, I'm sure you're getting a big taste of it, and I apologize if you hate it. Orange Cassidy versus Cody went to a draw. Apparently, the winner of the match was going to fight Darby Allin in Full Gear for the TNT title. That's going to have to wait because there was a draw. I get it. Kind of hate it, but I get it. In 2 weeks, they'll fight again. There's nothing you guys missed on that one. And then Archer and Roberts have a promo backstage. Moxley appears to get into another fight. I should probably take a Jello shot for every single time that there's a brawl between Moxley and Archer. I'm running out of Jello shots. This is now number 4. Your take on those couple segments we just discussed.
Goodness. where do I start? You just impacted a lot of just content. MJF, yes, that's where you started. MJF. God, him and Jericho working together. I mean, you just have one and they can create magic. But you put them both in the same story, and it's like unicorns are popping out of hats, and it's just magic everywhere. And excuse me. Yeah, you gotta give a. We didn't see Adam Page tonight, so I have to drink for him tonight. But yeah, it was that segment. I loved every minute of it. Because you got bits and pieces of like Maxwell, being a shy little 10th grader trying to ask a cute girl out on a date to the prom, and he touched Jericho's hair, and he's like, "I'm touching it." You kind of got your dark little humor that, if you have a dirty mind like most AEW fans probably have, you kind of get the dark humor there. And the most anticipated steak dinner of all history will be next week. So I, for one, will pay to watch that if I had to. I hope they go to a great restaurant and they have a great steak dinner. And will Maxwell join the inner circle? Good question. And then we get back, we go to wherever Tony Schiavone is. And yeah, I don't want to see Tony Schiavone shirtless ever again. I don't think Britt Baker does either. The way she screamed on TV, that was quite a segment there. But you are right. It's going to be sad that Britt Baker is fighting next week, but it'll probably be against somebody. I think somebody died. I don't know. There's a lot of noise. But sure, yeah, it'll be Britt Baker versus like Rache Chanel or Red Velvet in a 3-minute squash match. But anyway, we could have a whole podcast. We probably should, about everything we would fix in this women's division. We'll have to plan that out. But yeah, it was. And then we get to Cody and Orange Cassidy, and I don't like the ending. I don't like the draw, but it makes a little bit of sense. You don't want Cody to cleanly beat OC, and Orange Cassidy, in all fairness, shouldn't beat a rested Cody who's been out for several months. So I guess the draw makes sense. You make a OC look very strong. He was 1 second away from beating Cody. If they had an extra second on the clock, he probably would have won. And then Cody retains the belt and does what he needs to do. I think it's got its point across. And I guess Darby right now is fighting Cody for the title at Full Gear. I don't know if there's any other stipulations on that. And then I don't know. That's just a match we've seen several times already on AEW. So I kind of would like to see a different match, but I guess for the belt, it kind of adds a little bit of a mystique to it. And Darby's kind of, I don't know, like they throw Darby around in 400 different storylines. It's like he's with Ricky Starks, and now he's not fighting Ricky Starks, and then Ricky Starks will attack him, and then I don't know. That's just kind of weird. They're just kind of throwing Darby into multiple storylines, and I guess trying to figure out which one sticks. Kind of like Vince Russo, but anyway. Anyway, sorry, I had to throw that jab there. See, I can joke around about my favorite company, but yeah, I mean, solid part up to this point. Nothing super spectacular happened. Someone tweeted that they were surprised that they didn't see more. As with it being the anniversary show, they didn't have like a new somebody debut, or they didn't have someone I guess reappear, or they didn't. What's kind of funny, we'll talk about the women's division real quick. They I promise it'll be my last point, and then I'll let you get back to talking. They had they promoted the anniversary show, and they had every single woman in that division on the promotion, and they only used like 2 of them. So enjoy your Jello shot, and we'll let you continue to talk about the ending of this show as you're finishing your Jello shot.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, that was a lot of vodka. Oh boy. Wow. Oh. I kind of wish you continued talking for at least another 5 minutes, because I wasn't ready for that. Well, yeah. So we get to Matt Hardy, who has a promo on ringside. Says he's 100% cleared. Get to a promo on the screen of a guy burning pictures of Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara, saying he's not done with him yet. So I guess we're going to get another Sammy versus Matt Hardy match. 3rd time's a charm, right? I mean, Matt Hardy might die. He might die in this feud. And then we get to a bunch of tag teams standing on the top of the stage. FTR with Tully's in the middle of the ring. Tony Schiavone's in there with like a roulette wheel. Not a roulette wheel. Like a thing they had, the Royal Rumble, where you spun it and it stops and you pick out the thing. This was for 4 tag teams who were going to compete in you have to refresh my memory on this one. I don't remember if it was a 4-way elimination match or if it was just a straight 4-way match. But whoever, no matter what, whoever wins that match gets a number 1 contendership, I believe, at FTR for the tag team titles at Full Gear. And the 4 tag teams, I believe, were the Young Bucks. It was Private Party. It was 2 members of the Dark Order. And then it was the Butcher and the Blade. So one of those 4 teams will challenge for the tag team titles at Full Gear. Let's just go ahead, and we already know who it's going to be, the Young Bucks. And then we go to Hikaru Shida versus Big Swole. I think these girls only had like 10 minutes to fight. Wasn't hyped up. Didn't live up to any expectations. It's quickly drawn together. It's a decent match. Wasn't great. Wasn't fantastic. It was a mid-tier women's match. I hate it because Swole can bring it to the table. Shida can bring it to the table. And they had like a 10-minute measly match. Whereas the tag team match, TNT title match, and the world title match had like over 15 minutes to do stuff with. The fuck, bruh? Why? WHY. Why? I've only got one more Jello shot left, so I can't waste it right now. Why? You brought a good point. We're going to make an episode of the women's division, either how we can fix this or what the hell the problem is with it. Anyways, Shida retained, and up to this point, we've had 3 title matches, no title changes. That's surprising. There was no debuts, like you said. That's kind of surprising. Different anniversary episode than I was expecting. And then we get to the world title match. Lucha Bros come out. Eddie Kingston comes out. He does commentary. There is an 8-man tournament to crown the new number 1 contender to fight the world champion at Full Gear. Jungle Boy's in it. Cole Cabana's in it. Kenny Omega's in it. Hangman Page is in it. The Lucha Bros are in it. A couple other guys are in it too, but Kenny, of course, is on one side. Hangman's on the other. So unlike what we did with the TNT Championship tournament, I'm not going to be blind to the actual result, where I didn't think Archer and Cody were going to meet up because I was hoping that AEW would prolong that for a little bit. They didn't. They met up, so I'm not going to prolong this one. It's going to be Kenny versus Hangman, the finals, obviously. The Lucha Bros face off against each other in the first round. It's really interesting. Interesting. I don't like it. Whatever. Then we get to the AEW World Title match between Jon Moxley, Lance Archer. Hey guys, it's a no disqualification match. Go figure, because all the matches in AEW are no disqualification. Whatever works. I ain't mad. Actually, we get to a promo featuring Scorpio Sky and Sean Spears. That'll either be on the buy-in for a Full Gear or on the pay-per-view card itself. Interesting. All came about because on Saturday Night Dynamite, I believe, Sean Spears, or Late Night Dynamite, Sean Spears faced Matt Sydal. He was beating him up, and then Scorpio Sky came in and made the attempt to save Sydal, and that's why they're now kind of a feud, but you don't see anything of it besides a 2-minute promo. And then we get to the world title match. No disqualification, Archer versus Moxley. Physical, intense match like usual. Don't expect anything different. Not as much blood as I thought there would be in this, which I'm okay with, but at the same time, a little bit surprised by that. A couple table spots, chair spots, trash can spot. Went pretty hardcore on this. Bunch of guardrail shots. In the end, Moxley gets the win over Archer, retains his AEW World Title. Kingston comes in. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Everything. Beats him up. That's how we end the show. So no champions lost their titles on the show. I'm a little upset by that because it was such a hyped up as a big show, no pun intended, and thought maybe that we get one title change. Either TNT title or Women's Championship, maybe World title, but we didn't. A little surprising, is what it is. Yeah, so I'll let you talk now because I'm going to ramble. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we get in here, Matt Hardy, blah, 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 Sammy Guevara, yeah, best, they're going to kill themselves. Matt Hardy doesn't die, blah, 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 Sammy probably will. Yeah, we can skip by that. We've seen that several times already this year. Who gets hit by the golf cart first? Sammy. I'm going Sammy again. And then, yeah, we just break through. We get this women's title match that, I mean, honestly, with the talent that was in it, I was expecting a little bit of a better match. Nothing too flashy. Hikaru Shida retains. And at this point, nobody had dropped a title, so I was honestly expecting Lance Archer to win. We get that Scorpio Sky promo that just kind of comes out of nowhere. And then, the match. This is where I have a little bit of a problem. You change it to a no disqualification match. This would have been a perfect time. And I get it. I don't know if AEW and New Japan are cohesive yet. If they're working, they are teasing the hell out of that on social media. So it would have been a perfect time to build up the hype for Moxley and Kenta's IWGP United States title match that they have, I think, at G1. I can't remember where it's at, but I know Kenta is the number one contender for the IWGP US title, and I don't know if Kenta's been able to go back to Japan yet because he was staying in Florida for the longest of times. So I don't know if he's back in Japan yet. Somebody said he was, but I can't confirm that. And I know they are getting ready to start doing New Japan shows again. So I think like live and doing multiple shows with people in the crowd, which, if Japan can do it, then let us do it anyway. But yeah, it would have been a perfect time to Kenta cost Moxley the title, and then now they can set up this IWGP thing. You can start a New Japan thing. I don't know. It's just a little frustrating that they changed the dynamic of the match, the gimmick of the match, stipulation, I guess is the right word. And you really didn't need to change the stipulation with the way the match ended. If Eddie Kingston was going to attack Moxley, I mean, even if Kenta didn't show up, have Eddie Kingston interfere, and you can set up that feud that way, and instead of having him come in at the end. I don't know. It didn't make sense the way it, like, I don't know. I don't know why they had to change it to a no DQ match. A little baffling. This whole show, like I said, it was decent, but it wasn't spectacular. And they built it up to be a big show, an anniversary show. All the belts are on the line, and it just felt like a normal Wednesday night Dynamite. And I don't like to be the analytical person that always spews negativity, like you said. Because, I mean, I'll watch Dynamite every Wednesday. Like, I don't hate it. I didn't hate the show. Like, I could sit there and say, we watched the Friday night SmackDown last Friday. And I couldn't stand watching it. I hated it. It was awful. I didn't hate the show. I just didn't love this episode. And I think that's okay. And I can spew my differences and my beliefs and whatnot. I've seen better episodes, and hopefully, I get we're still kind of dragging on this whole COVID thing, and the women's division can't really progress because half the women are overseas and they can't come back. But, I mean, you have like 10 people on your roster that you can use, and you don't use them. But anyway, well, that's for another episode for another time, and I don't want to get you too tipsy, sir. But yeah, I don't know. They just, some of the booking decisions here lately I haven't quite understood. I don't know if they're just kind of, I don't want to say throwing things together last minute, but they're not building a lot of stories. Like, we still, November 7th, that's full year, right? November 7th. We still don't really have any idea who Hikaru Shida is fighting for her title. We don't have any idea right now. And obviously, they have that four-way tag match next week to determine who will fight FTR. So, okay, they're progressing that. We don't know who's fighting Moxley next. Were all assumptions probably would be Eddie Kingston, but is he going to get a pay-per-view match for the title against Moxley with a week and a half of storyline to build, or 2 weeks of storyline build up, or 3 weeks? October has 5 weeks in it, so 3 weeks of storyline build up. There's a lot that they've kind of, I guess you could say, taken out of WWE's card here recently. And the AEW, I don't like talking about the negative side of it, but it's just a lot of back-to-back-to-back weeks of just really kind of not bad booking, but I guess it doesn't make a lot of sense. And hoping that they can fix that some way. I'm guessing the number one contender is probably going to be Kenny Omega in that tournament. That's just the way it seems. And with Nick Jackson, he had some sort of interview with somebody saying that Kenny Omega seems like recently he's been too selfish or selfless, and now he's not. And he's excited to see what happens with him. I mean, they're pushing this to be like Kenny Omega is going to get his big push. And so I'm excited to see that. But you got a pay-per-view coming up in a few weeks. It's time to build your storylines. And I don't see that. I don't see it. I see them kind of adding storylines and not finishing them. And they're kind of following WWE booking right now, or 1999, 2000 WCW booking. And I don't want AEW to fall in that pattern that it seems like every company falls into, where they just kind of just throw stories out there and they don't really complete them, or they don't make a lot of sense. Like, obviously, if you throw something out there and it doesn't work, then find a way to end it, but make it make sense in the storyline. But I don't know. It's a lot, and you get a lot of. You have, including Dark, you have 3 hours of time to tell stories, and to me, they're not really using Dark the way they used to use it, to where they could push stories, where you have the Pineapple Pete and all of them who you can build your storylines through, and they haven't done that a lot recently. But maybe I'm just focusing on small differences of what they used to do versus now, and maybe post-pandemic things will get better if that ever happens. If we ever get out of this 4.5 month, 6 month pandemic. Back to you.
So much you just said. I have no idea where the hell to go or start. It can't be Eddie Kingston to fight Moxley if they got the tournament. But where does Kingston come into this? Do you think Pentagon or Phoenix wins the tournament and then Kingston's like, let me take your spot, bro? Like, I don't get it. You're going to have a world title match 2 weeks before Full Gear? Have a new champion? No. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, I mean, basically, we're going to have 2 weeks worth of storylines for Full Gear, which to me is not good. That is a card out of WWE's playbook. Kind of throwing it together at the last minute and just hoping that there's enough build to it. Give me some stuff that I can sink my teeth into. If I don't have a longevity storyline going on, I can't sink my teeth into it. It doesn't really entice me. I don't know. And I just said we're not going to talk about negativity, but I mean, sometimes you got to talk about some of the things about your favorite stuff that you don't really particularly want to talk about. But hey, it is what it is. Like you said, I didn't think this was a great episode of Dynamite. Wasn't the worst. And not every show is going to be better than the one before. It's not going to be great. You're going to have your regression shows. It kind of sucks. It's the anniversary show that it kind of regressed a little bit, but it is what it is. But that being said, what do you give Dynamite tonight? Out of your 2 thumbs, gonna give it the old solid 1 thumb. He gives it half of a thumb. That's your lowest rating. The thumb is still my lowest rating. I think I did that either 2 weeks ago or last week. So only 1 thumb, not good, y'all, not good. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's get to some of the Twitter polls, shall we? Ran a poll on my Facebook. Oh boy, it's already kicking in. On my Twitter page, I ran a poll. What did y'all enjoy tonight on another edition of the Wednesday Night Wars? Did you enjoy Dynamite or NXT? And the voting began, and 6% of the vote said they enjoyed neither. Surprising. 9% said they enjoyed both. 20% said they enjoyed NXT, and 66% said they enjoyed AEW. So, yeah, there's that. Appreciate you guys that participated in the voting. Liked my tweets throughout the night, retweeted, shared your comments on it. Appreciate you guys doing that. Did you have a Twitter poll before we kind of wrap up for tonight? And if so, what was it?
Yeah, I ran one as well. I haven't been running these as recently as as normally as I should, but I'm back in this game here, fam. Which show did you enjoy more tonight? AEW or NXT? I had 4 options, basically the same options as you. I had 0% vote neither. I had 17% say that they enjoyed both. I had 33% say they enjoy AEW, and a whopping 50% said NXT. So our demographics are a little bit different, it seems like. But that's always fun. And obviously my sample size is very small. It's probably the amount of people at I can't get in the Joe Biden rally last night. But anyway, sorry. And now that we've pissed off everybody in the wrestling circle, let's end the show. Speaking of Twitter, while I'm already here, you can follow my Twitter account at T the B Podcast. You can buy this shirt at prowrestlingtees.com/T the B Podcast. And I have a Facebook page, but if you look, I haven't posted anything in like 6 months. So you can like it if you want. I just probably won't put anything on there. Back over to your man over there, Cody Montanaro.
He gave out my full name. Can't believe you, sir. Unbelievable. It's not like if you go to my Twitter page and then you go to my personal Twitter page, which I tag it in the show bio, that you'll see my phone name anyway, so really doesn't give a damn, it don't even matter. You can follow the podcast show on Twitter at BTCPod18. I post a bunch of crap, bunch of stuff. So yeah, enjoy that. I have a Facebook page, Beyond the Curtain Podcast. Post very little. Apologize for that. I have PWT Store as well, where this shirt and one more shirt is up there. The Yeah Buddy shirt. And you can go catch a t-shirt for yourself at prowrestlingtees.com/Beyond the Curtain Wrestling Podcast. Go pick you up a shirt. You'll enjoy it. It's made of soft, great material. It's going to make you feel all sorts of good and tingly inside. Follow us on the YouTube channel where you guys are listening to this show at the moment and watching us ridiculous fools talk about wrestling. It's Beyond the Curtain Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Subscribe, please, please, please. Hit the subscribe button right there. Ring the ring bell. Okay, now subscribe down there, please. It's fantastic. We post a new video every week. Press the notification bell so you know each and every time a new video does get uploaded. Try to bring some more content to you. Raising a 5-year-old with another 5-year-old sitting across from me. And then taking care of a dog and going to work full time as well as doing this. Not easy, but that's no excuse. I got to make time to do it. I will. Just got to get some different ideas out there, and I will promise to get some new content out for you guys. I also have audio-only episodes where you can listen to all your favorite podcast listening devices or where you listen to them. We are on them. Anchor, Spotify, Pocket Cast, Stitcher. We've got Breaker. We've got Google as well as Apple Podcasts. Literally anywhere and everywhere that you listen to your favorite podcasts, you can follow us there as well, Beyond the Curtain Wrestling Podcast. So, guys, with that said, I hope everybody has stayed safe, stayed healthy through this crazy pandemic. Hopefully, we're getting somewhere near maybe the end of it, or at least turning a point where we can sort of get closer to the end of it. I know it's political season. I know some of us, most of us, if not all of us, are sick and tired of the political ads and this and that. Hopefully, we can get past that at the very end of this election cycle, which is not too far away. For those that are impacted by Hurricane Delta last week, hopefully everybody is staying safe and staying healthy and on the road to recovery. We went to a NASCAR race Sunday. My boy Chase Elliott won. Hell yeah. Great race. Great seats. Had a lot of fun. It was supposed to rain all weekend. It didn't rain for the 3.5 hours of that race, which was awesome. And I got to see my boy Chase win, which is awesome as well. So for that, I'm going to get out of here before I say something I probably shouldn't and will regret later on in my life. And just finish this Jello shot. So here's to you guys. Hopefully everybody's doing good, staying safe, staying healthy. We will see you guys next week. Take care out there in BTC Nation. This Jello shot is for you. So cheers. And we will see you guys next week.